The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
All right.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I've been streaming on Twitch since about May or April. Holy! Why is it so fast?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where's the meeting room? What's up, Bridgie Bird? Oh, Raider. A raid? Oh my gosh, wait, I didn't even change the title of my game. What's up, Raiders? Oh, Devolution. You shouldn't have. How are you? Hey, I don't have that. Sorry.
When Stanley came to a set of
I'm
two
so
open
sorry.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hello. We're playing Stanley Parable right now. I don't have any fun like music or celebrate. You know, I don't have any of that yet for it's still being set up. Yeah, I've never played this game before. It was one of the games that one of my viewers, Pete, suggested that I play. And this is Stanley Parable. Of course, the Ultra Deluxe. He's already on it. Thank you guys for Bridgie for the follow. Appreciate that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Apparently there's like lots of endings in this game. Like so many endings.
Truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Can I get a drink? Oh, I can interact with that. That's cool. What were you guys playing?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I did not. I actually didn't.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no.
Oh.
No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly...
Guys.
Oh, dear. Would you hold on for a minute, please?
Guys, I'm already messing up. I'm not I'm not a good listener.
Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
All right. In the car? Downwards. Downwards we go.
No, no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I?
Fired?
It's all
Am I
rubbish
getting
now.
fired?
The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Well, thanks for... Thank you. Guys... The game's just said you fucked up so much. We just need to restart you.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We're just gonna restart you. I think they were like... We just need to restart her. Where is the meeting room? Is this the meeting room?
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
Are you
Everything
sure?
Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No,
Did you
not
move
me.
the story somewhere or...
No.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
I do have a
then.
knack for
It's an adventure.
breaking the game.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
All right. La 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 la. Could it be this way? Nope. Is this supposed to be what happens? Like, did I really break the game?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this.
Inner guilt.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
Everyone
Why
knows
not?
what they just... Aww.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's
think
possible
he
the
has
story is back
a
where we just
deficiency.
came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I clicked buttons.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Okay.
No,
Dark
wait,
Wolf.
never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
How are you? Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what?
Oh.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Look, we beat the game.
No, I don't feel right
We
about
beat the
this at
game.
all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This wasn't open before. I couldn't go this way before.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Some ice cream? Oh. All right. Here we go, here we go.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Hi KJ, how are you?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
You're doing good. Are you back home yet?
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh, the fern.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
This
Go
is us
wild.
walking in
a
circle.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh no, not you again. Stanley,
I think he might be a little
from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor
confused.
rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story
Left
is in
or
our
right?
control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds
left bracket.
with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? Oh. That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
I know it is.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Oh, Jethro.
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
He's so chatty.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Hi, Havoc. We're playing Stanley Parable.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Hi, Mouse. You missed games today.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright, this is how you solve a dispute. You let it ball up and... Oh. Everyone is unique, most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Is it gonna stop? Does it just keep going? Sorry. You can always go onto Twitch and go look at the VOD. That didn't feel like a minute. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with a diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined to conflict, unless you're the kind of person... Oh, okay. Plant life. Remember, plant life. And mitosis. And clear skin. And don't get fired. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion. Let it build up inside you. Take out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Oh, devolution. Oh. I thought that said the buy closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this fancy. It's fancy up in here. Business? I'm a business strategy. This strategy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Twinkle,
any human life.
twinkle,
Shocked,
little
unraveled,
star,
Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
what
What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth
like
that
a
his boss had been
diamond
keeping from him.
in the
And so the boss had
sky.
assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Twinkle,
2845.
twinkle,
But of
little
course, Stanley
star.
couldn't possibly have known this.
I wonder what you are. I think, honestly, I think that was better.
Twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never
Three,
possibly
three, three,
know that
three.
the combination was 2845.
It was 6666. Oh, just kidding. You're right. That was wrong. I messed up 2 letters.
2845.
No. It was 6969. It was 2854. Oh, that's 444.
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hey, I'm being monitored. What passageway? Where? Where is it? I can't see. What passage? Over here? There's a passageway? Honestly, Pete, I think that
Descending deeper into the building,
I think that my
Stanley realized he
piano,
felt a bit
my Twinkle
peculiar.
Twinkle,
It was a stirring of emotion
was of
in his chest,
higher
as though
caliber,
he felt
you know?
more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This
Much
question
more
would not
professional.
go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I don't... I'm just kidding. Guys, I don't know if I want to be mind controlled. I don't think that we can be mind controlled, though. You know, like, they could always try. Whatever, Loza. You can't just come in here asking for already. Your mother. I'm gonna escape. Should we try and be mind controlled? Let's go. Let's see. They can't mind control us. We're unmind controllable.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh. Oh, okay, this way. Oh, there's another platform over there. I'm sure. Employee observation protocol. What does that say? I don't know. Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And
Yeah,
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
But there's no other co-workers around. The building is empty.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
You relinquish control, left bracket. I don't even think you
No,
you know,
he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
your
it.
mother.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly
Yeah, I haven't found him yet.
blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Beep,
Controls
boop, boop,
labeled with
beep.
emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
I'm not mind
Stanley
controlled.
decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What do I do?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go.
I can do your mother.
Off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event this machine is activated without proper DNA
Oh, guys, imagine watching a
nuclear
movie
detonators
with
will
this.
explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere
What do I do?
until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
One? Maybe the one button? Where's the one button? Where's the one button?
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Where's the one?
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
What next?
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
This is
Sometimes
the one.
when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons
Wait, we're
endlessly
not
and then
gonna.
dying alone.
No.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside.
He just
Or I
wants
let
to
it
make
burn
us
to a
think that we're
crisp.
gonna
I have to
detonate.
say this though, this version of events has been rather amusing.
He just wants to.
Watching you
He
try to
just
make
wants
sense
us
of
to
everything
think
and
that
take
we're gonna
back
detonate.
control
We're not
wrested
gonna
away from you.
actually
It's
gonna
my passion.
detonate.
I almost hate to see it go.
I know,
I'm sure
I
whatever I
bet.
come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
I know.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Yeah, I bet
These
you are.
Precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. How do you think
No.
that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Devolution, you're going to bed. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for bringing your people. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate you.
This is not a challenge.
You can stick around. You can go to bed. I should have said that earlier. My bad.
But I'm going to destroy
What?
it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds.
Oh, good
you have
night.
left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
Yeah.
Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the
It's
journey.
just time to perish. Let's all
I will
look
be
at.
laughing every
Let's all
second
count
of your
down.
inevitable life from the
5,
moment we
4,
begin
3,
until the
2,
moment I say,
1, 0. Perish. Perished. It's okay. He was kind
All
of
his
being a
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
dicky anyway.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Does it ever like start over?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
Again?
answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
After 3 months of inactivity? Damn. Damn. Rude?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, we're going to
Although this
escape.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door
Oh.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. GG's. Good night. Am I gonna get lasered? I'm not dead.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, chat. Sign.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
The good thing I'm still alive.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
we will miss
death
you,
becomes
Stanley.
meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Everybody is either overwhelmed or underwhelmed. You strike the perfect balance and achieve whelmed? What do you mean? Like in this game, Ronan? Or just in general? No, just my general demeanor. I mean, I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty chill. I feel like a lot of people think that I'm... I don't know. That would have been cool. If we could fight aliens. It says that early in development they designed an ending where they would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would have waged war against the narrator. Do I like museums? Yes. What nice art. I almost did a virtual gallery. For my art show. For my senior art show. Excuse me, sorry. I could have.
From surprise party for him for all his button pushing. Does that sound plausible to you? Orange lever. Stanley pushed the number 6.
I'm the chillest. I'm the chillest of them all. Yeah, I kind of realized that. It's a funny meta game to the meadow. What do you mean?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I was talking tickle tackle.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not.
Dude, I need 7
Sometimes
screens,
these things
Mail.
cannot be seen.
2 is not enough.
Listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Why do you think that you could see me saying magic mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Not me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
They left all their computers on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Number 1 dad. Chat should get me that mug.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
That's
first,
right, I did. I'm not mind. They can't mind control me.
A work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone.
What if I just don't leave?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
Thank you, Mayo.
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
What if I just stay here? Will he say anything else? Oh. Is that over here? Just this desk?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping... Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would
Navy
think he was
gravy.
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
Navy gravy with the raid?
Maybe I am crazy.
What's going on,
All
Navy
of my
gravy?
coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment.
How are you guys? What are you guys playing?
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange
Welcome in.
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found
You're
the words
always
for it.
in our
"I'm
graders.
dreaming," he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to
It's
go
an
back to my
addiction.
boring real-life job pushing
I mean, I
buttons.
understand that.
may
I
as well
have
enjoy this while I'm
I
still
have
lucid.
addiction
So
with
he
Dead by
imagined
Daylight
himself
right now.
flying and
So,
began to gently float above the ground.
oh,
Then
look
he
it.
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was
Stanley is
describing itself
big
being
crashing
considered by
out.
Stanley, who found it
He's
particularly
overthinking
strange.
everything.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice
Dude,
spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply
He is
deceiving
a
himself,
certified
believing that if
yapper.
he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he
Used to play that so much until you noticed it was kind of pay to win.
Did the voice not see him float and
Is
make
it
the
pay to
magical
win?
stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain
See-
all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would
In fact,
prove it. He
I
would
can't go
prove that he
backwards.
was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes.
I mean,
gently,
if you're not paying to
and he
win,
invited himself to wake
if
up.
you're not
He felt the
playing
weight
to
of the blanket on
win,
his skin,
then
the
it's
press
not
of
really
the
pay to
mattress on his
win,
back,
you know?
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
See, I don't
I
play
wish
the
it
game
to
to
be
win.
over. Let me go back to
Dead
my
by
job.
Daylight is
Let
a
me continue
romance.
pushing the buttons.
It's a
Please.
romance game.
It's all
It's
I
a
want.
dating sim.
I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is
Oh.
Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
This is a game.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked
pretty
to her
much a
place of work.
never-ending
But on
game.
this particular
It
day,
feels like a
her work was
never-ending
interrupted
game.
by the
You could,
body
there's
of a
like
man who had
every
stumbled through
choice
town
leads to a
talking and
different
screaming to
ending,
himself,
which there's
and
never
then
really an
collapsed
actual
dead on the
ending,
sidewalk.
and
At
the only way to
first, she would
restart
soon
the
turn to
game
go call for an
entirely
ambulance. For
is
just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
if you don't touch
He
it
was
for 3
obviously
months,
crazy.
apparently.
This much she knew.
Also, that could have been a
Everyone knows what
lie.
crazy people look like. And And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
This is called Stanley Parable.
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think.
It was a game
and
gifted
in a certain way, seeing this man
by
made her feel
chat by
better.
Pete.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career. And by
But right now I mean, we'll probably play this game maybe again, and then we'll probably we're in the middle of Dead Space still. We're in the middle of like a spooky Disney horror game called Bye Sweet Carol, and we're in the middle of Dispatch.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Oh, it was a
mean?
lie.
Stanley decided to go to the
Okay.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Pete, you lied to
Stanley
me.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What's the other game? Oh, we
Standing out
started
in this incredible
Dispatch.
room, Stanley, for the first time,
We
but
started the
eager to
game
get back to
Dispatch.
business,
We're
Stanley took
about
the
to be on
first open
episode
door on his
3.
left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yep,
Yet
Pete
there
is
was not a
chat.
single
Chat is
person here
Pete in this
either.
instance.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go
I can't
up to
go
his
in the
boss's
broom
office,
closet.
hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Into the catwalk. Into what catwalk? Oh. We found the bathroom. To be rich, is it a crime to commit crimes? Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. You can't interact with the toilet. That's a sad you know, it's a sad life when you can't use the toilet. We played an itch.io horror game today.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees.
That was
bursting
like
into half moans,
literally
half
the
sobs,
entire
the
game
guttural
was you just
retching
sitting
of
on the
life from a man
toilet
denied
taking a
any hope,
deuce.
any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour.
And then,
But when
like,
at last he
throughout
began to move
that,
about and survey
throughout the deuce
situation,
you were
he found
taking,
a keypad
there was like
behind the
this
boss's
ghost
desk.
grudge
What could it
girl
mean? Was it a
that-
sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although
Just
this
wanted to
keypad
keep you
guarded
company.
the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope
What was
to guess
it? 5, 8, 4, 5, 6?
2845.
No.
Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly.
2,
Ever.
2, 8, 4, 5. That's not what I typed in. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, Mayo. We tried that already.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What new things can I do here? Is it just gonna be the exact
Now
same?
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
I can't.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly
I don't know
blind
how.
to the world?
It's hard.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this
I
very
can't go up
place.
here. I
As
see a
the
big
cold
old button
reality
up
of his
there.
past began to sink in. Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the
Turn around.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Because we won the
He
game.
had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Right.
Freedom was mere moments
Right,
away.
right.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Oh,
But
look.
as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was
Yeah,
not knowledge or even
yeah.
power that
Nothing
he had been
matters.
seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Okay.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all
Oh, how
he
pretty.
needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool
Oh.
breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense
That's it.
possibility of the new path before him.
I beat the
This was
game.
exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I got the good ending. After all that. Oh, I beat the game. Oh, big claps. I beat the game. But we're back. This is a funny game. Well, is there any point to go again? I know, Stanley did touch grass after being locked in here.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made an... Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
New content? Oh boy, we're on a roller coaster ride.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Hello?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, nice. We're masters at jumping. All right.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
All right.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
No,
this is
I
new
can't.
content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content.
I'm
right
pressing
there.
my
Hell,
space
I could
bar
count to
right
30
now.
trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
They're funny.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Well, this is different.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent!
I'm
I
on
want
my
to show
way.
you something!
You wanted to kill me? That was kind of rude.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Aww.
Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's
So
where I've
pretty.
been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Okay. Very nice, very nice. Aw. How cute. $1. Okay, don't play. 5 years. I don't know how to get that achievement. Very nice, very nice. Your mother's dollar. No, it said the almost impossible. Little Stanley, you will be missed.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Let's see.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
He is crashing out.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Guys, look at something so beautiful blossomed here. Well, it's dead. I think the narrator really might be dead. Oh! Wow! The apocalypse did happen. Did I press the button again? Nope.